A very good evening to all our dear viewers, and welcome to this live talk show conducted by Global Education and Training Institute. Today, in this talk series, we have with us Ms. Priyanshi Pathak, Director Executive Children's Academy Senior Secondary School at Haldwani, Uttarakhand. And the topic that she has chosen today to give the talk on is technology as a motivator to students. But before she begins, I would like all our viewers to get the introduction of our esteemed speaker today. Ms. Priyanshi Pathak is working in Children's Academy and La Infantia Group of Schools as the Director Executive. She is a gold medalist in MBA and also a gold medalist in Bachelor's of Journalism and Mass Communication. She is a certified student from Oxford University, UK, in the Victorian Village Schools, and in developing further assignment writing skills. She is the first to launch Uttarakhand's school news channel for the students. It is run by the name CAN News Channel. She has also launched Uttarakhand's first ever school e-web portal for the students of Children's Academy. She has been a pioneer in initiating student global exchange programs with countries like Brazil, UK, USA, China, and many more nations of the world. She believes that each and everything should be turned into learning experiences and opportunities. Making the best use of internet and YouTube, she has launched the first ever career podcast for the students by the name of Executive Uprising, a career podcast where young working professionals from various fields are invited for a pep talk. With a rich global exposure in education from countries like England, Scotland, United States of America, and UAE, she has left an everlasting impression in the field of education. She has worked as a student motivator in Gayton Primary School, Liverpool, England, and Lady Mount Catholic Primary School, Liverpool, England. Ms. Priyanshi is an innovative academic leader who is focused on engaging with students and educators to meet learning objectives and drive students for progress. Over to you, Ms. Priyanshi. We are really waiting very eagerly and anxiously to hear from you on the topic how technology can be a motivator to students.
Thank you so much, Sumita, and thank you, Getty, for giving me this opportunity. I would like to start with session with a short poem on teachers. Teachers paint their minds and guide their thoughts, share their achievements and advise their faults, inspire a love of knowledge and truth as you light the path which leads their youth. For their future brightens with each lesson you teach, each smile you lengthen, each goal you help reach. For the dawn of each businessman, each philosopher and king begins with the teacher and the wisdom they bring. Greetings, everyone. My name is Priyanshi. Thank you for joining this session on technology as a motivator to students. Before we dig deep into this topic, I want to know from you all that what do you think is the purpose of education? Why do we need to educate our students? Is it because we want them to get good jobs? What I personally believe that we want them to grow as, intellectually intelligent person or people. This kind of education is possible not by passively receiving knowledge, but by constructing knowledge we want them to have. By they will do the construction of the knowledge which we want to imply to them. So we what the learners are changing, the students are changing, the world is changing, the requirements are changing, the skills are changing, the capacities are changing. Let's see what are the capacities at which the change is happening. What is the requirement of the future workforce? So learners 5.0, we have industry 4.0 going on, and when these students are going to go, the industry 5.0 would be there. So what are the capacities which the workforce is, required to have? They should have the capacities of thinking, inquiring, and questioning. Now, how are these capacities built? These capacities are built through the generation of inquiry. When they are inquiring, when they are understanding, when they're saying, when they're asking, why am I studying this? What is the purpose behind this? When they are integrating whatever they are studying, they are being told, they are telling the teachers, they're telling the facilitators that, I want to study this, please give me the opportunity to study this, make me understand this concept. They should have a deep understanding of each and everything. By deep understanding, I would say that, if they're studying Harappan civilization, they should not study it just to pass the exam. They should study it, they should know why they are studying it. What is the hidden agenda behind making them study that? So all these things should be kept in mind before teaching all these students. And such inquiry driven learning should take place in this school system very, very soon, because the future workforce, the future of the nations and the companies are wanting employees such these. So I would want to know that what do you prefer more? Do you prefer digital resources or you prefer printed textbooks? So if you prefer digital resources, you can give a like button, and if you like printed textbooks, you can send a heart button. So what is motivation and technology? So when I talk about motivation, motivation is of two types. One is the intrinsic motivation, which comes from within the person, within the individual, and the other one is the extrinsic motivation, which comes from the external forces. So when we talk about that, motivation makes the students lifelong learners. They're always ready to learn. Then, if we talk about technology, so when technology come, everyone is so excited. When the computer was launched, when the internet was launched, everybody was so phenomenally excited about, because of the potential of the technology to transform, to bring the change. But it also brought in the suspicion of the potential to disruption. A lot of people thought that, technology will lead to no schools in future. It will have, like, people will have free education. But one thing which everybody forgot, or which they did not realize, is that technology is just a tool. It is nothing but a tool. If given a chance, you know technology in itself is not a motivator. There is always a facilitator behind it. There is somebody behind it who is using it wisely. So technology engages the learners in the learning process. It is helping, the learning to go beyond the classroom. It is not just confined to the four walls of the classroom. So the value of technology exists only in the pedagogical use that teachers make of it. If we talk only of technology, so technology in itself is not a motivator. There is a hand behind technology who is motivating the students. So, what is the relationship between motivation and technology? So let's understand that first. So, learners respond differently to the same technology used at home and in classroom. I'll give you an example of this. So, what happens is, a lot of schools these days have IFP panels, or the interactive flat panels, in the classrooms installed. We open a video and we show them the related video to the students. Now when the student is seeing that video, is watching that video, he is acquiring the knowledge required to the matter which is happening. Now it looks like a television. The student goes back home, he's watching the television, he's watching some movies, he's watching some this and that. So the learner is responding to the exact same technology differently when used in home and when used in classroom. So this is the impact of the classroom teaching which happens. So technology can be the views of a student. So now we have to actually change it. How will we change it? We will have to change it through learners motivation. And what are the external influences which are going to have make them change their mindset from seeing the same technology in two different ways, that I will tell you. It was going to happen through teachers encouragement. When the teacher is going to encourage the student to go and watch something meaningful, they're going to do it. Learners training, they are going to get trained in what to watch, what to search on internet. Then it is going to happen more appropriately. And develop learning habits. This is a must in every individual, because what it is not just the students we are talking about. Each and every individual should have their learning mode on. They all should be in a habit to acquire knowledge from one thing or the other. And all this happens through one word or one thing, which is called engagement. So if you give me a task to do something, I'm going to take interest. But if you give it to me, already done, I'm not going to show any interest in that. So similarly, in the case of students, you should be giving a task to the students to tell you that what they want to learn, how they want to learn from you. It is completely up to you how you change it accordingly, and to fulfill the norms of the curriculum and to fulfill the norms of the school. But at least they are they have this feeling that they are being heard, that their voice is somebody is listening to them as well. So engagement works as both. It works as the manifestation of motivation and as the catalyst for motivation. Engage them and you are going to have lifelong learners. Now, what are the affordances of technology? Affordances of tech By affordances, first of all, I should tell you, by affordances I mean, so what is the purpose of technology? So by technology, technology, we have car is a technology. Through technology it is being built. Mobile is a technology. And both these car and this mobile requires what? They require driver and they require a driving license. So if tomorrow I decide to drive a car, first of all I should have a car. Secondly, I should have the driving license, and I should know how to drive. Until and unless I do not have these three things, my having a car or my driving license or my experience to drive individually stands no chance. Car in itself is just known for its mobility, right? But it requires all these three things to actually solve the purpose of mobility, to help us reach from one place to the other. Now when we talk of mobile, what is the purpose of mobile? The purpose of mobile is again mobility. It helps us connect with one person to the other. Now through wi-fi or through several means. Now who is the driver and what is the driving license in this? So the drivers are the teachers and the learners or the students in this, who are using the mobile device. And what is the driving license? The driving license is how, and you should know how to use the technology. Until and unless you do not know how to use the technology, this mobile device is of no use, or this car is of no use, until and unless you do not know how to drive it. And until and unless you do not know how, you do not have a driving license to it. Similarly, if you do not know how to and what to search for, acquire knowledge out of mobile phone, it is of no use. That technology is of no use. So what are the questions to ask before using technology? We should know that as teachers. Before implementing a technology, one fine day we decided, oh, we will show a video to the students, or we will use mobile phone to show them how we get connected to each other. But before that, you also need to ask is it actually required? And you have to answer these 6 questions to yourself before implementing that technology. What are these questions? Why use the technology? Why you should use this technology in your classroom? Who is the technology best for? For example, if in class 1 you want to show the students to roll, how rolling happens on a smooth surface and on a rough surface. And if you for that rolling thing you ask somebody to drive the car, it is of no use. You can simply use a ball for that. So you have to identify that who you are using the technology for. What is the technology best used for? Where should the technology be used? When should the technology be used? And how should the technology be used? All these 6 questions are very important to be answered before implementing the technology. So, technology, again, I will repeat, on its own will not motivate learners for long. It is not going to motivate the learners for long. Why? I'll tell you. There is a new phone which you buy. First 1 month you are keeping it very nicely, you are using it judiciously, you are learning how, what are the new features. But once that technology is over, you're not going to buy another phone next month, right? And after 1 month you're like, okay, it's the same thing. So now motivation factor to learn something new, the novelty has gone. So when we talk about technology on its own, it is not the motivator, but it becomes a motivator when it has a little certain of something attached to it. It has a combination of some more things, like a good teacher. A teacher will tell you that in the mobile phone you can watch a good YouTube video, you can watch somebody's biography, maybe by that, or somebody's interview. Then maybe the child is going to gather some interest into it. Assign some good interesting activities which the students will enjoy doing, and design well designed materials to it. It can play a significant role in keeping them engaged. All these things, good teacher, interesting activities, well designed materials topped with technology, is going to have a long lasting impact and a greater engagement of the students in the learning process. Now, how to develop lifelong and life-wide learners? This is one thing which always excites me, because I want my all my students to be lifelong learners. I don't want them ki abhi they are in this classroom and they are only going to learn till that time. I want them to learn when they are home also, when they are going home, when they are on their way home, or when they are coming to school also. So because I want them to develop observation skills, and how we are doing this, I'll tell you that in the classroom, because we have technology, it gets very easy for us. In the classroom, I am encouraging, my teachers are encouraging the students. How they are encouraging? They are encouraging by asking them that what kind of technology do they use, and why do they use it. Are they using Instagram? Are they using Facebook? Are they using mobile phone? Are they using a laptop? Are they using a PC? And why they are using it? What interests them? Then I am asking them to, in the preparation stage, what I am asking them to do, I am giving them activities which are beyond the classroom. Now, beyond the classroom, what happens? Certain kinds of activities. Maybe I have given them a task to observe a plant. I've given them a seed, and I've asked them in the evening, you have to quickly send me the text by telling me in the evening what is the difference you have seen in the particular plant. So now they're using the WhatsApp and sending me the message. Now, the same thing which the parents are asking not to use, maybe the WhatsApp or maybe any messenger, digital messenger, this child is actually using it for a good purpose. He's sending me the changes which he is observing, rather than going on and clicking a picture, taking a photo, and sending it sticking it on the paper and making a scrapbook of it, and then afterwards it all gets wasted, everything goes in in the dustbin. It is not something which is very supportive. It is also wasting paper. If we can use technology in such a way, then why not? Then supporting. Now, by supporting, I means when I've given them this task, now maybe they committed some mistakes in that. They did not know how to do it. Now I'm giving them specific guidelines that you have to do certain thing like this. Next time I am not giving them guidelines, I am giving them guidelines also in the involving stage. At that particular point of time, the students are themselves coming to me and telling me that, ma'am, I this is the activity which I did, and this is how I got involved. Now they are becoming lifelong learners, and the learning is not just happening in encouraging and preparing stage in the classroom. It is also happening beyond the classroom. The students are learning beyond the classroom. I'll share one more example with you. A lot of my students are on Instagram, so I got followed by them, and their followers and follow backs by them. Then their students were actually writing comments, and they were posting pictures, they were writing good captions behind below it. And of course they may commit small mistakes of grammar or something. And I went to them the other day and just individual students, and told them, just correct it, this is grammatically wrong. So now the student is actually doing it in the personal life, where he's using it on in their own profiles. But there also they are learning, because they know, if I will commit mistake, my teacher is going to come and tell me, you have to correct English. So now their grammar is also getting corrected. I'm telling them that, you have commented, this is the wrong comment you've made, this is grammatically wrong. So that time they are changing it, they're correcting all of it. So it is important to remember that school age learners spend much of their time outside school. Connecting with their personal lives through technology is therefore the key to motivating them. So integrating technology in the curriculum, this becomes an important part. I will share this very interesting incident. I was in the UK a few months back. So I met a teacher there. I got an opportunity to visit one of the schools there. So I went and met this teacher. Her name was Meena. She just started sharing, one of the incidents. She said, after COVID, I asked my students to write a story, and they stopped writing the story. They said, no, I will not write the story. We are not feeling like writing the story. It's very boring to write it on a paper. So she said, "Oh, for a few days, I kept on thinking that why my students are not writing this particular story on the paper, and how will they develop their writing skills." But then she thought that, why not change it a little bit. When I observe these students on their social media, on their WhatsApp, they're all smiling, laughing, sharing audio messages. She said, I changed my strategy. I asked these students to record the audios, record the videos, make visual caricatures on digital caricatures, write some texts on the this thing on the digital media, and then after that develop a story out of it. She said, I got 100% result, because all my students were expressing all the feelings through through these stories. Because now this time the students are doing something new. The newness factor has come. So all of these students started using visual aids, audio aids, and texts while sharing the story, while telling the story. So I said, your colleagues must be really happy. All your school department must have been really supportive of all of this. She said, no, they were not. I said, why? So she said, it is a little different in our school, because it is a little intertwined hierarchy. So I had to actually take a bottom up approach. So for those, all those who do not know what a bottom up approach is, so bottom up approach is basically where, the person in the who's the lowest in the hierarchy implement something new, and that particular person is, that whatever he has implemented is going on the top hierarchy, and then they are finally applying it to the whole of the organization. So this particular thing she adopted. She said that I first went to the colleagues, a few of my colleagues, they appreciated, they encouraged me to go to the academic coordinator. She went to the academic coordinator. Academic coordinator was very happy with this pilot project that I did in my class. Then she said, okay, you should go and take the help of IT department also. She went to the IT department. IT department also helped her out. Then slowly and eventually she went to the principal. The management committee was called upon. So all these things together, she was saying that for adoption, adaptation, these two things were easy, but then integration was a little difficult because it was a huge, large educational context. But she said, I did it because I was an enthusiastic teacher. And she actually is a very enthusiastic teacher. So it said that teachers need to be enthusiastic about any new technology or any new thing which they bring. If the teacher isn't enthusiastic, why will the learners be? If the teacher is not enthusiastic, if the teacher is not smiling, if the teacher is not energetic, the students are also not going to be like that. So what we are, our personality looks like, the our students personality will also be like. And at this particular point, we have to be really very careful because we are generating future leaders, we are generating the future citizens. So we have to be very, very cautious of what we are actually doing. Now, integrating this technology into classroom practice. Now we have integrated in the curriculum. Now, how to do it in the classroom practice? First, you should have the autonomy. By autonomy, I mean it. You should have you should have the feeling of that you are in charge of bringing the change, or being the catalyst of it. Then you should be feeling related to it, feel connected to others, and then you should have competence. You will be effective, you will be able to do it. And if you have all these three things, autonomy, relatedness, and competence, you are going to be motivated to bring new changes and new follow-ups in the hierarchy. So if we talk about implementing or integrating technology in the classroom, what we must always think about is that we have to break the task into smaller segments. First, before the task, during the task, and after the task. So before the task, we should understand, we should explain to our students that what is the rationale, what is the reason why we are doing certain thing. If they're doing an experiment, they should know why they are doing it, what is the benefit of it. Prepare learners for success. By prepare learners for success, I mean that they should have a competition with them. They should not have the competition with the person sitting next to them or maybe somebody at home, but they should have the competition with them. Give them examples like, you did this particular thing good last time, but you should have done it this time, you should be doing it even better. So they're competing against themselves, which is making their graph go up. Then help learners visualize progress through videos. So when you it is before the task, I'm telling you, before the activity or before the task you give, just show them, this is how the progress is going to look like. For example, you are doing a robotics activity and the child has to develop a robo. In that case, first explain why they are doing it. Then prepare the learners, tell them, the last time you made this model, it was good, but now this has to be even better than that. Then help your learners visualize, you see, this is how it is going to come out as. Then during the task, set appropriate goals. Tell them how to set goals. The goals should be smart, specific, measurable, attainable, uh, reasonable, and timely. So all these smart goals should be there. Then give learners choices. Give them choice to, if they want to use maybe the red color to it, let them use red color. Maybe they want to go for an electric thing, let them go for electric. If they do not want to go for the electric thing, let them not go for that. So give them the power to make changes. Maintain learners attention, behavioral attention, cognitive attention, social attention. All these three attentions should be caught across. Then monitor level of engagement, see at what level they are getting at what level they are getting engaged. So are they getting engaged only when they are doing it, or they are thinking even when they are going back home? So if they're even thinking when they're going back home about the project that you've given, it means it is opening their minds to think and to learn beyond the classroom. So this is the impact. And after the task is done, ask them to follow up make a project report of it, or go for, if they want to make a little tweaks or make some little changes, ask them to do it. It's okay. So these are the follow up activities where students are actually getting motivated. Then supporting teachers and learners in this process. So how does this happen? What is the role of a teacher? So there are a lot of roles of a teacher. Teacher is a learner. So because now that we are talking of technology, we must accept that the learners, these are our students, are way better and than us in technology. If not way better, a little, they have a little high notch to it than us. So if we are learning from them, not an issue. Acknowledge that. Tell them that we learned from them. They're going to have this appreciation factor. They're going to have they will be feeling very proud of themselves. Then teacher as leader. Yes, teacher is always a leader in the classroom, so you should always behave like one. Teacher as citizen, because you are the citizen and you are developing the future citizens, so you should be very mindful of what you are teaching them and what you want them to be. Citizenship can be digital citizenship. They should not be doing anything unethical digitally. So you should be telling them that what is ethical, what are all the ethical things on digital media and what are not. Because you are the citizen, you want make these students what you want for the future of this world. Teacher as collaborator. Ask collaborate with them in one activity or the other. You are the designers of the activity, you are the designers of their mind. So design their minds appropriately. You are the facilitator, you are the change maker in their lives, and you are the analyst because they are looking up to you. They are waiting for your feedback. Feedback can be anything. You can be positive towards it. You can tell the students, what fault did they make, they can correct it the next time. It is important for teachers to develop the skills and confidence the roles that will help them to implement technology effectively in their teaching. Now, if we talk about learner's role, so here the learner's roles comes very interestingly. It starts with identifying learning needs. Here we are putting the learners, we are putting the students in a position where they're choosing what they have to do, what they have to learn, what they want to make their life of. Like, so identifying learning needs, like what are their learning needs, what they want to learn. Setting goals. Now once they have decided about, once they have identified their learning needs, then they're going to set the goals that they want to achieve. Then they're going to learning, they're going to plan learning, that how are they going to acquire that learning, how are they going to acquire that knowledge, which I started with as constructing the knowledge they want to have. Selecting resources, like what resources will they refer to, some textbook materials, some digital materials, it is up to them. Then selecting strategies, they should select the strategies, like what they want to how they want to study it. Then practice it. Then monitor their progress, because you've already how they have to how will they be monitored in the during the task process. Then assessment and revision. That, of course, this is going to take your help also. You are going to assess them and you are going to make them revise whatever they have done. And this process keeps on moving. So learners need opportunity for learning that are continuous and collaborative, that are driven by their needs and interests, and the given the tool to assume greater responsibility. So in this sense, teachers and learners are on the same journey of discovery. So what are the key messages that are that we draw from this? It is that technology can have a significant impact on motivation by increasing learners' sense of autonomy, relatedness, and competence. Technology can support learning in a wide range, both formal and informal learning spaces. By formal learning spaces, I mean schools, and informal learning spaces, I mean home. Successful implementation of technology is always context specific, because we need to identify that whether we have to use this technology while explaining a particular topic, and requires integration into the curriculum and classroom practice. The effective use of technology requires careful preparation and appropriate support for both teachers and learners. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am Priyanka, Priyanshi, and this was indeed talk which we all really need to ponder upon. And a few questions that have come up during the session from our viewers, I would like you and request you to please address them. What issues should teachers consider before implementing technology based learning? What is your call on that?
There is some technical issue. I think I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I'll repeat my question. What issues should teachers consider before implementing technology based learning?
There is some technical issue. I can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now, ma'am?
Let me try something. Wait.
Hello, am
Hello,
I audible?
You are very much audible. Am I audible to you?
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
You were not audible.
Okay, that was Miss Priyanshi, who was giving us the importance of how technology can be integrated into learning. Technology definitely empowers teachers to develop creative and interactive classrooms and gives them access to innovative resources. And for more such talks, you all can log us and be connected with us at Disruptive Literacy Movement. Please mail us at scaleup globaldream.guru or WhatsApp or call us at 91740 Till then, it's bye bye from all of us. Thank you. 91740 Till then, it's bye bye.